Can you comment on the data side of that problem? Did this company do any sort of data management projects ahead of implementing this AI reasoning solution, or did they just dive in?
Yeah. So what we did is looked at all of the different data sources that they had available and which ones the engineers were utilizing today. Right? I think the best way to think about these AI reasoning systems is that they replicate the human way of thinking. So if you're an engineer and you're solving this problem and you find yourself referencing work history or referencing manuals or procedures, right? Those are good keys to say, hey, we want to expose our agents to those same data sets. Allow the agents to do the legwork of going through all of that documentation and surfacing those relevant nuggets. That way, it's very clear as the engineer working on the issue, not only what needs to be done, but always that traceability back so you can understand exactly how did it get to those conclusions. And that's really where trust is built.
Awesome. So we've talked a lot about the reliability and sort of the predictive analytics and root cause diagnosis side of things. I want to talk about some other use cases now. And JW, you just started working with one of the more modern exploration and production companies in the Gulf of Americas region. What are the types of problems that they're focused on first? And are there any specific data challenges that were raised or flagged early on with the problems they're looking at?
Uh, so in that example, I would say they they didn't build everything brand new, so it's not all the same, right? And in a lot of industry, all different kinds, there's acquisitions that happen, and this company's had those happen too, right? So you end up with multiple different systems that are in place and several different outlets that they're having to go to, especially if they're the ones that are in the central role looking at multiple locations. So the first thing they want to reach for is most of the time the highest production areas, which makes sense. That's where we want to be able to cover the highest producing areas. But we also have some other locations that may be better instrumented and well equipped to go ahead and start adding value. So going through that process to see where we could look at the what equipment and get value faster, even if it isn't the highest production area that you have, you can still have really good value and really good finds. And then that also kind of transitions over because once you start to have that success in these different areas, that can also build and give them the information they need to be able to make those changes to improve the data where it's lacking, especially in those higher production areas. You can build that up because you have that the cases where we were able to see these issues and we were prevent this secondary damage, right? And that's what all of this is. We're trying to find it and fix it small, and that's what they're able to start to see is where you are able to monitor and look at this equipment to be able to make that transition and give them the ammo to be able to expand where they could have the even higher production impact.
And Cody, from the broader UptimeAI customer base, are there any other use cases that have emerged where AI reasoning agents can help overcome data quality issues to get value from AI technology ahead of a massive data management project?
Yeah, I think maintenance optimization is probably the clearest example because it relies on CMMS data, which I think frankly everybody knows is imperfect, right? Like work order history is always messy, descriptions can be inconsistent, or failure coding's not complete, or all of the useful data is in the long text notes. But again, reliability teams are using that data today to look for bad actors, repeat failures, PMs that aren't finding defects, or where you're over or under maintaining assets. And again, that's where reasoning agents help, right? We can take all of that CMMS history, the PM structure, the failure mode knowledge, and give you back ranked recommendations. We'd still always encourage humans review those, but you're not starting from a blank screen or combing through all of the data. And, it all comes back to that same point. You don't need perfect data to start creating value. What you're looking for is just enough signal, enough context that allows experts to validate and improve. And the goal is it gets better and better over time.